In this tutorial, I'm going to quickly show you how to use Adobe Photoshop's new Generative Fill tool to edit or alter a frame from a movie and then composite and mask that over your original footage to fundamentally alter and change your video. So I've got a video file on my sequence here. I'm now going to export a frame from it using the export frame icon. So the next thing we're going to do is open up Adobe Photoshop. Now in Photoshop I'm going to open up the exported screen grab I've just done. There we go. So I've now got my still frame open in Photoshop. I'm going to use the navigate window just to zoom in a little bit. I'm now going to go down and select the lasso tool. We're going to use the lasso tool to select the part of the image that we want to edit and change. So as you can see here, I'm selecting the left hand side of my image. This brings up the Generative Fill prompt box. So I'm going to type in a prompt describing what I want. So I'm just going to try some palm trees there. And then I click generate. Now it'll take a minute, probably less, for Adobe Photoshop to come up with some ideas of what would work based on that prompt in that particular space of your image. Once it's come up, I can then cycle through three different options. So Generative Fill will always give me three different options. I'm going to move my prompt box over there so I can see the picture better. I'm going to pick the one that I feel looks the best and works best with the picture, which is this one here. And we can use Generative Fill to change anything within our picture, really, our image. So I'm going to select this beach hut. And I'm going to change that type of building to an old church. And click generate again. And again, this will give me three different options that I can cycle through. The first one doesn't look quite right with the lighting of the scene. Second one looks good. The third one doesn't work quite as well either. So I'm going to go for that second option there. Now I'm going to save this. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to rename it something I'm going to recognize. So home edited, click save, click OK. And I've saved that as a PSD file, I believe. Next, I'm going to go back into Premiere and import that image that I've just saved. So home edited. Now it comes up with the option to import this image as merge all the layers together or have the separate layers. I'm going to merge all the layers. There's my image. Next, I'm going to drag it onto my sequence above the original video clip. So we can see as I scrub here, I've got the edited still image on video track number 2. I'm going to extend it out. And in fact, it's probably easier if I just scrub it a little bit so you can see a bit of movement there. So at the moment we can see when I've got my image above the video track, it's taken up the entirety of the picture. That's because I've composited it over the top, but I haven't actually masked out the parts of the image that I want. So with my still image video track selected, I'm going to go into the opacity menu, click the little pen icon, which is the masking pen tool. And I'm going to draw around where there is motion in the picture. So essentially I'm drawing around the people in the picture that are moving. Nothing else in the picture is really changing other than these people. So I've drawn out a mask and I've connected it. So at the end, I've made sure that I've closed the loop on that mask. And what I need to do is invert my mask. So I've selected the people, but I need to go back into mask and tick the inverted button there. So now we can see the top layer is the image that we've got from Photoshop that we've edited, and the bottom layer is the video with the motion. And essentially, using the pen tool to create a mask has essentially cut out a hole in the still image where we can see below that video track to video track number 1 where the actual video is. And now what I really need to do is fine tune my mask. So you can see the problem I've got is the people within frame, they're moving outside the bounds of the mask, so they suddenly disappear mid-frame, which looks really bizarre. So I'm going to very quickly edit my mask, moving the points until I've dragged that mask out over the entire part of the image where any subjects are moving in frame. If we play the video now, then we should see that it looks fairly good. You wouldn't necessarily guess that the left-hand side of the video is actually completely different to how it was originally. And that's all thanks to generative fill, masking and compositing.